Hey everybody, welcome. I'm Matt from Epic Loot Exotics. Arden's back there behind the camera. We're going to swap back and forth. We're going to do a live stream right now of Workday. There's a lot of stuff to do. We even made a to-do list. There's 50 some odd breeder-ready ball pythons in this room. And there's going to be weighings. There's going to be ultrasounds so that we can determine some pairings. And then clean up and moving, because it's annoying to try to reach the top level on this rack. And since we bought a second rack, which is mostly empty at this moment, we're going to move snakes over into new enclosures with new substrate in the hopes that we can pair them up where it's like a male with 3 or 4 or 5 females, however many we've got for that next breeding cycle. By the way, I've already taken a bunch of notes about our snakes and how best to pair them. I have not moved this into Husbandry Pro yet, but I've got my list, so we know a little bit about what's going on. We'll probably show off some babies and other stuff as well, but if you have questions throughout the stream, feel free to answer them. One of the two of us will be monitoring those questions and everything else. But if you're ready, I'm going to start by weighing Laverne.
Yeah, let's do it to it.
Sweet.
Hey, Cosmic Kyle. Good afternoon to you as well. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Should make sure that the microphone's picking you up well, because it's aimed at me, so.
I will talk extra loud.
I don't know if that's required or not.
No, I can see the levels.
All right, so Laverne.
Although I'm sure I sound funny.
Come here. Whoa. Laverne is our biggest girl, or was our biggest girl. She is a lavender albino pinstripe. See if we can show her off just a smidgen. We will not need to ultrasound her because she just gave us a dozen eggs a couple of weeks ago, and we washed her up, but we did not redo her enclosure, so we're going to redo that right now. Hey girl, I know you're a little concerned, so we put a weight in for her. Come on, stay in there. 2467.
Alright.
Good job. 2467. This is Starlight. She is our super pastel. I'm hearing a lot of banging.
Banging?
Like either down the hall or outside, maybe trash cans or something. It's really hard to tell. Hey.
Could be Daphne. I have no clue. I don't hear it.
Anyway, did you get Laverne's weight?
Yep.
Okay. This is Starlight. She's our super pastel. She's also already given us eggs, so we don't have to ultrasound her. We're just going to get a weight on her. Come here. Sit right in there. 1587.
Kyle says, trying to my best to get my girlfriend over her fear of snakes. I think they're just absolutely gorgeous. Yeah, I think most of the people we talk to are in that kind of position. They're trying to convince someone in their life to think that reptiles are acceptable. Which I get. It's unfortunate, but that's the world we live in. People feel that way about reptiles.
Did we get eggs from Newest as well?
I don't remember off the top of my head.
All right. Well, I've got Newest on a hook because Newest is ready to feed desperately. Come on. Newest is 1971. Newest is a pastel that is het for lavender albino. Did we? Can you look in her activity?
Yep.
And see if she gave us eggs, because I honestly can't remember now.
Activities. No, she's had no follicle development. Every time we've ultrasounded her, she's had nothing.
Okay. Well, let's do an ultrasound on her today. And just get her to calm down a little bit. So all you're seeing visually on her is pastel. That's it. She looks like a normal ball python, but with the pastel gene, which You can tell primarily because her head is generally lighter, kind of faded out there, but it lightens up everything along her body. As a matter of fact, I'll show you a snake with a normal appearance in like 3 snakes. We'll get to that. But we're going to see about getting an ultrasound because she feels... I'm optimistic.
Nice.
What I want to do is... we have definitely run out of room in our snake room.
Yeah, that's the truth.
But...
You're always out of room.
I did make quite a bit more room today to make it a little easier for us to move around and do this.
This is why if you support us and buy a snake, we'll be able to have a big old facility with lots of room. Kyle says, side note, I can't tell you how happy I am to see you two enjoying this hobby and having fun together. A breath of fresh air.
Awesome. Thank you.
I think that's one big reason for me, at least. I don't know about you, babe. Why I love this. Everything we do is very serious and very political, and it's nice to do something that is just a passion, that is fun and engaging and produces some education and...
Okay, that's gallbladder. So we'll go south of the gallbladder. And what are we seeing? That looks like those are like 10 millimeter follicles right there.
Want me to come freeze? Oh, they faded out, but we can still see them.
It's alright. You know where they are and you can approximate them.
Okay, it's been a little bit since we used this, so I'll make sure I don't fuck it up like that last time.
But I'd say they're like 10 to 12, 10 to 15.
Yeah. These are saying 6.6, but I think on the big... There were some that, when you got deeper in, they looked a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
I'd say like 7 or 8.
Just put her as less than 10. And it's not quite time to pair her yet.
But that's good, because it means she's actually developing follicles now, whereas before we saw absolutely nothing with her. So let me input that for newest
Okay.
activity.
Nesquik is absolutely in shed. And I'll bet you a year's salary, based on feeling her, that she has reabsorbed. We were really, really looking forward to her giving us babies.
I know.
She is a Mojave GHI, and because she's so deep in shed, I mean, she's crazy in blue right now. I don't know if you can see that on the stream.
Yeah. Yeah, you can definitely tell on stream.
All right, Nesquik's weight, 1680.
Okay.
And I'm going to I swear that looks like eggs. No,
Those,
that looks like a huge follicle. That looks like an egg.
yeah, I think what happened is what we thought was the pre-lay shed was the pre-ovulation shed. And now this is perhaps the actual pre-lay shed.
Which means she'd be like 30, 60 days from laying. All right, we're going to give you more chances. We've been checking her daily for eggs because her follicles were, I mean, it looked like eggs. Now I'm confused as to, maybe she's just got cancer and that's what I'm seeing on the ultrasound.
It's possible, but I don't think so.
Did you get her weight?
Yep. Did you want me to even put follicle development? Because it's kind of the same big fucking egg.
Under follicle development, put 60, no, because that might confuse somebody else. I was like, we could come up with a code like 66, which is, we're really confused about this, but...
I was just going to put big fucker in there.
If it lets you put that in, just say uncertain. But yeah. Hello, Ariana.
It does let you put that in there. I'm a big fucker on the millimeters.
Okay, this is Ariana.
She laid eggs for us as well.
She gave us eggs. She is a pewter pied, which means she is a pastel cinnamon piebald, and that's why she's very high white. The coloration. I mean, you can see the pewter. You can see it in her head, and the fact that her eye stripes are pretty much gone or very faded.
Yep, you can see that.
And she's got one saddle there and a couple other little individual things. We're gonna weigh her. I'm gonna guess that she weighs 2,500? No, 2,400, but we'll see. Come here. 2258. Thank you for the eggs. We are ready to begin feeding you again.
So she was 29.44 before she laid 22.58.
Yeah, she's starting to put some back on. This is the one we think we should be getting eggs from any day. But we've been wrong about some of this. Now, I told you in 3 snakes I would show you one that is normal coloration. This is a normal coloration snake. Now, she is heterozygous, which means she has one copy of the gene for both piebald and lavender albino, which combined those two form the dreamsicle, which I can pull Mayfield down later and show you. But we think that she's pregnant. We think she's going to give us eggs any day. She weighs just 2,500. And I'm just going to put a quick ultrasound on her so I can see if what we have is eggs or follicles or reabsorb.
You said 2,500?
I honestly don't know, so I'll do it again. Whoops, lay there. Come here. She will not stay put. 2520.
Sorry, it's difficult navigating between all this stuff.
What's difficult is getting this lube back on here while wrangling a snack. And it's not lube, it's gel, but alright. Come here. Right there.
Oh, that's...
That looks a little like gallbladder right there. I'm going the wrong way, but I'm not sure that it's gallbladder.
This is the problem with us not having enough room. It'd be nice to have a place to set her down too to do this, but...
Well, I could do it in a tub. I just got to swap tubs because there's no place to fucking weigh.
Oh, that's what I mean. Rather than swapping things back and forth over and over.
Stay right there. Halfway down the body. Nope. Nope. Don't you dare go out. You stay right in here. And the plastic, this cord keeps catching on this. There's just no way to set this up where it's not going to annoy the piss out of me. I see follicles. I see a whole bunch of just, see all those?
Yeah, but what's weird is we have an entry for 32 millimeter follicles in here, and those look small. Well, some of them look big.
That one looks big.
Okay.
Those look big. None of them are near egg thing yet, so we should still be pairing her.
Yep.
Okay. So put on the pair list, add Brittany to a pairing list, and we'll pair her on Tuesday.
Start that on my phone, I suppose.
That's disappointing because we really thought. So we got evidently a bad reading, and so she is not ready to give us eggs.
Yeah, those looked like they were maybe a quarter of the screen, so that would make them like 10, 15 millimeters.
There were a couple that were like 25, so it's like 15 to 20. We need to get her pairing pretty much right away. All right, let me get this back up here. Already, my back is killing me. This constant tipping, bending over that has to take place in here is really annoying. All right, next is Pebbles. Come here, girl.
She gave us 12 eggs.
Yeah, so she is probably like, I don't know, right now she feels like she's about 2,300, maybe 2,400. 2230 for Pebbles.
Wow. It's funny too, because I thought her clutch was going to be one of the less exciting ones, and hers is one of the most exciting clutches we got.
Pebbles gave us an amazing clutch. Alright. Come here.
It really does feel like you're opening loot boxes every time.
This is Shadow. Oh, what?
I'd noticed another chatter I hadn't said hi to. Games in Science. Hey.
This is Shadow. She's a cinnamon, and I hope you could see, considering I just showed you Brittany and her normal coloration, how Shadow is darker. Same way Ariana's eye stripes tend to go away or fade out on the darker snakes, things like cinnamon. Ariana is pastel cinnamon and piebald. This is just the cinnamon, and she feels huge, but she's been eating. Why are you stretching out straight, huh? I'm trying to bend you to put you into this to weigh you, and you are stretching out straight.
I cannot be contained.
Oh my God, and now the scale has turned off.
Good timing, scale.
Get in the bowl, girl. 2876.
Okay.
And now we have to move this, and this,
Bring
and
that
this,
back
and this. Can I pet that dog?
Can I pet that dog?
No.
If any of the rest of you are chronically on Instagram Reels or TikTok like us, you might have seen that one. Anything to do with kids getting hurt or doing silly stuff.
Could you stop for just a second? I'd love it if you, wow. Stay in the tub. Except for where I need you to. There we go. Well, no. Could you stop, please? I'm fucking begging you to stop. Go that way.
Are those huge follicles? No.
I can't tell or see.
I think it's just artifacting.
I don't know what her last entry was. I don't have enough lube on here. She won't hold still.
Her last entry was 13 millimeters. But clearly we can get bad readings, so.
My glasses won't stay on my head. Now I can't see because the cord's in the freaking way. I don't have any clue what to do. I can't see. There we go.
Nice. Those look
Finally got them on there.
like 10 to 15.
Yeah, evidently I'm upside down. How the fuck am I upside down? Yeah.
Yeah, I would say. Oh, some of those look almost 20. I'll put 10 to 20 or 15 to 20 on her entry.
Come here, girl. I'm just trying to get the ultrasound gel off of you. All right. Whoa! Almost fell over.
Consequence of also, in order to do these streams, we have to have a tripod of a camera, a tripod of the microphone, and 4
Yes.
light tripods.
There's a camera there. There's a mic there. There's a light there. A light there. A light there. A light there. There's these tables. This rack doesn't have a table, which would be really nice. I wish it did.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna go pay to do that. Now I got goop on my fingers.
Okay, I'm gonna put Shadow in the pairing list as well. And she's clearly ready.
Yeah, she's been paired before with Bam Bam, I believe.
Yeah. But then we saw she didn't have any follicles, so we stopped for a while. And now she looks ready again.
Okay. The last snake over in this tent rack of 10 sea serpent is Polly. Come here, girl. Whoa, guys, you feel heavy too. Polly is a pastel cinnamon, so she's just like Ariana Grande, except without the piebald stuff. So you can see the coloration, the lighter pastel's lightening up the head, cinnamon's darkening the snake overall, and opening up the alien heads. Everything in the 8-ball group, so that's cinnamon, black pastel, a bunch of others, does this with the alien heads.
She's identical to Shadow too, she's just one more gene.
Yeah. And her weight, get in the tub, no, get completely, get all of your ass, yes. Could you stop fighting me here and just get your whole ass? There you go. 2250 for Polly.
Okay. I shouldn't be laughing at how frustrating I'm sure I would also be at doing what you're doing right now, but it is ridiculous. I just realized somebody had said beautiful pie in response to Ariana a while ago. Instead of pied with a D.
Yep. No, stay in the damn tub. This cord isn't long enough.
Yeah. Can you scooch the whole ultrasound closer to you? Would that help?
I don't know. I have zero. Please stop, Polly. Please, 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 and please stop. I can't see. Please stop. Wow. I can't tell if those are great big eggs.
I don't think so, but I'm not entirely sure.
I have no more gel, so I'm going to start over on the gel. I don't understand how the gel fucking vanishes the way it does. Come here, stay in the tub. Alright, I will hold you and keep you in the tub. Like,
Wow, that does kind of look like an egg.
And she's gone off food.
Did we pair her?
Yeah. She would pair with Bam Bam. We're just going to get more pewters. Wow. Please stop. You guys are fucking killing me. Alright. I would say, what was her last reading?
Let me pull it out. 17 millimeters. So, and that was in July.
Putter is like 30 and we'll put her back in the pairings. She hasn't eaten since then either, I don't think.
No.
So they go off food, especially when they're getting ready to form eggs. They'll eat like a pig while they're still building follicles. Matter of fact, Ariana was pounding like 4 rats each week. Okay. I need to swap with you and have me a break. So we got weights on all of those and ultrasounds on the ones that are potential. Unless you want me to try to do Bobert.
I'll do Bobert, I don't care.
Okay, because we got to find out if she's ready to be paired. So let me swap with you.
Swapping places.
And see if
Alright. Let's see. We need our weigh station. Alright. Oh, go ahead and hiss at me. That's okay. I won't take it personally. Oh. She is 1856. 1856. Good year. I remember it. Drop that.
Bobert's weight.
Alright.
1856.
This cord is all tangled, tied on itself.
We don't have a Gates, Stephanie. Test. Hey, it picks up me just fine on the mic, evidently.
Yep. I imagine it sounds like you're behind it, like you're in a distant room, but it has good count. It's been a little bit since I've done this. I feel like I gotta remember. Oh, maybe that's the gallbladder? Or what I thought was. And somehow I've lost all of the lube already. How does that happen? I'm sure.
You don't have enough on there.
There's a ton on there.
The screen isn't white.
Yeah, but... Okay.
That's what you're supposed to see.
Yeah, I know that. Oh, there we go. Yeah, those are like maybe 10, 15. Looked like, well, now right there. Might be upside down, but
I can't read the damn buttons. It's too dark.
it's okay.
Is it this one?
Top one above it. There you go.
Ah, shit.
I've done that so many times. That's okay. I think 10 to 15 is probably pretty good. It was less than half the screen, but
Okay.
more than a quarter.
We need to start pairing her then, so I'll
Yep.
I'll put her at 12. Oh my God, there's no room in this place. Oh my God. I just banged my knee, almost knocked over the table. If you guys saw the other half of this room that you can't see, you'd be like, wow, you guys deserve a medal for working in that little room.
Yeah, I know. We, I forget who it was. Someone we were talking to or hanging out with or something like a couple months ago made a comment about like, oh, you know, snake room, you must have money. And it was like, if you saw our snake room, like,
Yeah.
do these 2 racks cost money? Sure, but it's not like we have a whole facility. I wish we had a whole facility. We absolutely do not.
Instead of a 10 by 12 room that's like 78 degrees.
All right.
Ambient.
Okay, so I think the next girls we probably ought to do are the top row, huh?
Johnny says move that desk. I'm literally sitting at that desk, Johnny. Why would I move the desk?
Okay. I'm gonna go for the girls in the top row. Then work our way down to the more easily accessible.
Yeah.
And I'm always having to move stuff everywhere because again, there's never any room. Alright, let's go with Clarabelle, because if I remember correctly, she had a lot of some well-developed follicles last time. Okay, go ahead, girly. You are so pretty. So you can kind of get a glimpse of the clown gene doing its thing here. She is it lesser clown? Pastel clown. Oh, you're alright. Come on, I want you to show your head. There you go. She's got a really pretty face and some gorgeous eyes. I wish she was a little less shy, but you know, she's just doing what ball pythons do. Alright. Nope. I need you to... There you go. 1735 for Clarabelle's weight.
Her follicles were 15 last time, but she's refused food for the last month.
Yeah, that was kind of what made me think there was a chance she might be developing pretty well.
Maybe a camera mounted on the ceiling in a corner. You can't control a camera mounted on the ceiling in a corner unless we buy like some fancy fucking zoom in and turn ones like Johnny's got.
Oh. There we go. Oh, I just saw it, but the way she's writhing right now makes it a little bit hard to keep the image clear. Come on, Bobert. Nope. Keep your head in there.
That's not Bobert.
Oh, you're right. This is Clarabelle. Other clown girl. Oh, is that it? Nope. Now I've lost my goo.
Goopy goopy goop.
This is the other hard thing, you know. Ball pythons are reacting normally to like, they're like, what the fuck? I am out of my normal environment. You're putting something like cold and slimy on me. Of course they're gonna freak out. Oh, there we go. That looks like a 25. That's more than half.
Okay.
I would say.
Then we need to get her paired as well.
Yep. Oh yeah. I don't see many other follicles or anything. Nope, don't go in there. That's the other thing. They love to climb in between these spaces here where they can knot themselves up where it's really hard to get them out. We did a stream a couple months ago where we had we lost one of our girls. We didn't lose her. We got her back. But she climbed back there and it was a whole ordeal to get her out. Alright. Let's put you back up. Almost put you in Bobert's thing again. After just calling you that. Oops, and I should wipe her down a little. Get some of this off of ya.
After we get everybody weighed and get the ultrasounds done on the girls that we're interested in checking, we will kind of double check our breeding chart for the next cycle.
Yeah.
And then we'll start the cleanup and moving. So Clarabelle, Demi, Ellie, and Taylor, who are all in that top row, will definitely be moving to new locations. This is Demi Lovato. She is an Orange Dream piebald that is het for lavender, so she's another dreamsicle breeder for us.
She is gorgeous. You can really see some of those oranges popping through at the bottom of that saddle. I don't know if that's in focus at all, but hopefully you can see. She is gorgeous. All right.
Her last weight was 1727, and we paired her, but I don't know if her follicle development went from 10 to 20, and so we definitely are going to need to pair her again, but let's get a weight.
1820.
Nice. So 1820.
It's alright, chill. You're okay. I half expect to get bit sometimes, but I find this is a good way to get them to, at least for a few seconds, stop trying to push out. You kind of push their nose down. Nope. Damn it. And this goop doesn't cooperate well. It doesn't go to the bottom of the container to squirt out easily. So oh, whoa, those are very large follicles. Those are definitely look at that, that's the whole screen.
Yeah, it's 35. We need to pair her first. We need to pair her with Mayfield Tuesday.
Yep. So those babies will all be guaranteed pied. Half will have a chance of being Orange Dream and about 50% chance of being Dreamsicles, so lavender pieds, which will be very exciting. We'll put you back up. You're doing great, sweetheart. That explains why she hasn't been eating the last few weeks as well. Nope, no. Okay. Now, it's how do I get to Ellie Golding?
Ellie had no follicle development. She's alternated between eating and not eating. I'd pull her entire tub down. Just because she's hard to work with if you don't.
Hello, sweetheart.
You could ultrasound her first.
Sure.
I have an idea that might make the weighings a little easier.
Cool. Those look like little ones.
Yep, those are 5, 6.
5, yeah.
Yep, so she's not ready yet.
Need to get you eating more, girl. Though they're a little bit, yeah, I think 5 and 6 is probably pretty fair.
Okay. I thought of a way to weigh.
A way to weigh?
A way to weigh, a way to weigh, a way to weigh.
Dee-dee-dee-dee. Oh.
I want to do an experiment because this is a little squishy, but...
Oh, I gotta set that on and then hit tear. Fuck. Come on. Okay.
Okay, I'd weigh her here, and then we'll set her up there and weigh her and see if we're getting the right read, the same reading.
1642.
1642. Now try it up here.
Oh, hold on. I gotta do the whole.
No, you're fine.
Oh.
Unless you reset it.
Nope. No, it's 9:05 now.
Oh.
So something's wrong about that. Let's. 1647.
Good.
So it's good enough.
How's she look? Because there's some bad shed in here.
She looks good.
All right. Then we'll put her back.
No markings on her head or her belly or anything that are worth investigating.
Okay, so 1642 and follicles of 5,
Yeah.
you're saying? All right. Let me go add her detail.
Okay, and we'll get Taylor. Probably pull Taylor's whole tub out too because she is a little spicy sometimes.
She's very spicy.
It's funny, she's been spicy with you. She hasn't been very spicy with me yet, but doesn't mean it's not going to happen like right now.
Okay, Ellie's follicle development was 5.
Let me know when you're ready for Taylor's weight.
I'm ready.
1280.
1280, so not really breeder ready.
Not quite.
And that's actually down 8 grams, so it's virtually identical to what it was.
Okay.
You can check her for follicles, but it's not going to matter.
Yeah, she's eaten a couple times, but not consistently.
You said 1280?
Yep.
If she was putting on weight, I could see breeding her given her age.
She's definitely got follicles.
What size?
Is that her gallbladder? That's going the wrong way. Like 5 or 10, maybe even more.
Alright, I'll put them in as 10, and we'll check her again in a month.
Oh yeah, definitely 10.
Yeah. If we can get her eating, I mean, she's over 1,200 and she's old enough, and she's been bred before, I think.
Yeah.
So she's just slightly under her ideal weight.
Yeah.
She is a yellow belly that is also het for dreamsicle, and possibly our only snake that is possibly het desert ghost that we know of.
But
we
as we've learned recently, desert ghost is not a simple. I forget what the terminology is. I don't need to pull her out like this.
You can though.
It just seems like a hassle. What we're trying to say is desert ghost is not just a single gene. Desert ghost is now just known to be a combination of genes.
Who you got? Annie?
Yes. This is Annie Lennox. Alright, girl, let's get your weight. She is 21.96. Chill.
She's put on quite a bit.
Good, that's good. She's doing some loop-de-loops here. She's a little stressed, which is fair. You're alright. It's okay. Chill, chill.
2196 is submitted.
Okay. Just calm down a little bit.
Her last follicles were 19.
Okay. Nope. I would like it if you didn't. I'd like it if you stayed here for just a minute.
Now Annie is completely normal, but is visually, but is het for dreamsicle.
I think that's a giant follicle yeah, that's a big follicle.
Like 30?
Yeah, like the whole screen. She's...
Okay, we gotta get her paired then.
She's not just being resistant, she's like powerful. She's trying to hold on to these edges real tight. You're okay. I'm gonna put you right back. Just give me a minute. And I will leave you alone. Don't worry. Come here, baby girl.
Let's see. So, Alpine.
Mayfield's gonna be busy over the next couple of weeks.
Yeah.
You're okay. Jeez. Alright, Alpine up next. Hey there, girly.
Alpine had 5mm follicles, but oddly we don't have any weight listed for her.
That is odd.
So,
Well, we'll get one right now.
Let's see.
Wow, that's amazing timing.
What?
I was like this when it turned off.
Yeah. Nobody can see you, but you were about to set her in the
Yeah, I was like
the weighing bassinet.
15:32.
15:32 I. And let's see if we can get some follicles on her.
Good, wait.
15:32.
Okay. Can I get access to your lower body, my love? I need you to relax a little. There we go. I am pretty low now, where I don't know if that would be. Hold on.
She only had like listed as 5 last time. She may not have much of anything. Or we just haven't been able to see it properly.
Yeah, she's not being nearly as flighty as Annie was, but she is sitting in a way that makes it hard to get a good reading. I would just like to find her gallbladder so I could know for sure. Nope. Oh, those might be little ones. Yeah, I think. You're doing the worm motion. That makes it very difficult, babe. I thought maybe I saw like a 5 or so, but she's resistant. There you go. No, I'm not seeing anything.
Okay.
There's a couple of blobs that look like they could be like 5 millimeters, but I think if there were actual follicles, I would have seen more.
I'm just going to leave it as 5. 5's our code for we think we might have detected something, but it's nothing worth talking about or pairing.
Yep.
Alright.
So, this has been Alpine. She's a beautiful albino pinstripe.
Regular albino, not lavender albino.
Yeah. Cool thing is, pinstripe with albino creates this like highlighter yellow color, which is just so awesome. But yeah, she is a beautiful little girl. And she is ready to go back up. So thank you for your time, Miss Alpine. Hope you enjoyed my rhyme. We've got Margarine, or as I like to call her, Margarine Taylor Green.
She had 8 millimeter follicles, and her weight was 1750. So we're hoping that her weight is increased.
She is just a lesser, so I'm not really certain whether lesser has any pattern effect. To my understanding, it is almost entirely just a color effect, which is where you get this kind of like yellowy brown kind of.
It's also called butter.
Right. It's also called butter because of the color it produces, which is that yellowy brown.
Which is why we named her Margarine.
Yes.
Richard Rocket says, when I want to get the last of the ketchup out of the squeeze bottle, I spin it around really fast from over my head to in front of me to behind me, arm outstretched. I've never handled ultrasound gel, so I don't know if my ketchup method would work. It might.
Kind of similar. 1628.
Oh, she's lost.
Yeah, she has also not been eating as much. She'll eat like once a month.
I'm not sure I trust our weighing method right now. I know we did it in 2 spots, but
I'm pretty confident it's good.
I know where we should do it. We should do it on the step ladder, because that's at least firm.
Okay, I'm gonna need.
You don't need it anymore.
No, I guess not. I'm gonna pull all of Cindy's thing out.
But also it gets it pretty close. Well, okay, you can move over there too. Don't worry, I'm watching Lesser try to escape. She can't get far.
Okay. Let's try this again since Daddy-O's not convinced. Don't wrap around that. No, 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 no. Nope. 12.
No,
20?
that's not possible. She was 1628 on the other thing.
I don't know. I have no clue
When
then.
you take her out, does it go to 0?
It's like negative 14.
Yeah. Hit tear again.
Oh my god, the unit got changed. There we go. Now I have 1,081. What?
No. That okay. Then that's definitely not correct.
Let's try it on this thing again. I want to see what it says on here. One day we'll have the space where this won't be the most aggravating fucking thing on the face of the planet. Okay, you come here. Sweetness. So on this, we have 1620.
Okay. Well, then that matches up with what you had down there.
But I'm like, are they all skewed because this table has a little give?
Yeah. I'm like, ideally, we would grab that table. Let's do that. That little table right there. Just set it up as a way station over there. We won't mess with it for margarine. We can put margarine up, and we'll do it for all the rest of them. I just about tripped over all the cord right here because there's a plant over here that I'd like to kill.
It's not real.
Well, that's why I'd like to kill it instead of why I'm gonna kill it, because I can't.
Just give me a minute. Oh, that's a gallbladder.
Just give me a minute.
There we go. That is a bunch of like 10, maybe a little less than 10. Oh, I lost them. I had them for, there we go. Nope. Very difficult. Nope. It's very frustrating. I definitely had them, but
It's because we suck. We are just terrible at this, terrible at everything. We're terrible.
terrible. For real.
Terrible. All right.
Okay, I'm not getting them again, but I'm very confident I saw a string of like 4 or 5 that were probably about 10.
Which is lines up with what she had. So.
Yeah. They were around a quarter of the size of the screen, so.
By the way, tonight's debate has been moved to 9 p.m. Central, in part so I can get all this next stuff done.
No sweetness.
Hey, the next one is one that might bite you.
Oh. Alright. So we can move this down because we're going to need her whole tub for this. We're going to pull out Cindy. Cindy is a very defensive ball python. She has very frequently, when you go to close the tub, reacts to the shadow coming over her head and pulls her head back so fast that she scared me. No, she just jumped, but it scared me. She hits her head on the top of this, which has a little give underneath, so it makes like a loud sound. But okay, so we've got the weigh station here.
Good job.
She's very stiff. Keeps changing the fucking unit. 1900 even.
Okay. She's put on a little bit.
She has been eating better, I will say, despite being still the biggest anxious mess of a ball python I've ever seen.
Her follicles were at 10 last time. We have a new boyfriend for her, too.
Ooh, those look really good. Wow. Those are like more than 20. I would say 25 maybe even.
Okay.
Yeah, those look great. Way to go, Cindy. She has been eating better, so that's good to see that it's paying off.
We haven't made a list of the ones to pair, so let me get this. So
yeah, I was making that list on my phone.
Okay. So we have Cindy.
Cindy.
Not Margarine or Alpine, but Annie.
Annie was ready, yeah. Clarabelle was definitely ready, and Demi, right?
What about Ellie and Taylor?
I don't remember.
Okay, let me pull them up.
It is hot in the snake room today.
Ellie, Taylor. Nope, Taylor was at 10.
Okay.
Ellie was at 5. So nothing there.
Neither of them.
Pairing wise.
I was there for everyone in the big racks. So I already have those. Which ones are available there down? Which I think was just Shadow and Polly.
Okay. I will put them on this list here so that I got it all in one spot.
Oh, Brittany Bitch also needed one more pairing. But other than that, that's everyone.
Okay, Cindy, Annie, Clara, Demi, Shadow, Polly, Brittany.
Alright, move on. Lila and Barta on this row.
Yep, I got Lila as the next one. She's already been paired. Her follicles were 35.
Wow, okay.
And her weight was 24. So
She did just come out of a rough shed as well, which could be her ovulatory shed. Wow, yeah, she's definitely got eggs in her. Holy crap, she's huge and bulky.
that might even be a pre-lay shed that just didn't get all the way off. Alright, so we'll give her a wash down a little bit later when we're on cleanup.
Nope. 24, 27.
Almost exactly the same as last time. But she's been refusing food, so she looks like she has eggs.
Yeah, that's what I mean. She's very heavy-bodied right now. It's okay, baby. Chill. It's weird. I do find that, like, holding their head kind of seems to... I don't know if it actually makes them calm internally, mentally, or if it just makes them stop moving. But, for our purposes, we can get them back into the space where they can be calm a lot faster. Either way. Oh, yeah, that's a fucking... I think I landed directly on an egg. Or maybe not. Oh yeah, there it is. Yep, that's the edge of the egg.
Okay, so you're saying they're 40?
Yeah, oh definitely. Like, more than 40, like 60 probably, but...
Okay, then
yeah.
we don't need to pair her anymore. And we
Oh, baby girl, you're huge.
She was paired with Aurora Z,
So,
who is our albino yellow belly, one of the prettiest albinos. And Lila is just an albino. So every baby that comes out will be an albino, and 50% of them will also have the yellow belly gene.
Okay. Oh, I just wanted one.
So it's eggs. Boom.
It's that one later.
All right, good deal. 24, 27, and probable eggs. That's great.
Varda.
Varda last weighed. Well, she had 12 millimeter follicles, and she last weighed 1880.
Okay.
So, for those that are curious, I'm announcing the weight so that we both get an idea of are they growing or not, and we have a list of when they refuse to eat and everything else.
2020, exactly.
Ooh, nice. She's bulking up. It's going to be some eggs from her.
I have this random weird discomfort with. Whoa! Oh God! I thought that was a bluff strike for a second. It scared me.
She just pushed past you.
Yeah. I have this weird aversion to numbers like that, like weights that are very close to years that are recent in time. So 2020 is a weight that it makes me uncomfortable for some reason.
Let's see.
Feels like the fear of small. Oh, whoa! Fear of small things. Okay, hold on. She needs to chill out for a second first.
Yeah.
Everything's okay. You're fine. Varda's one we interact with a lot too, so I'm surprised she's being this jumpy. Nope.
She's always up front and looking for food. We got some questions here. Richard Rocca says, do you ever let them bite you to get their aggression out? Would that even work? How much damage could one do in a single bite? Arden's been bitten by some of the ball pythons, or one or two of them. I've been bitten by our Woma. It doesn't do any damage to us. It's more about damage to the snake. They have curved teeth that if you pull away when they bite, you can rip teeth out, which they'll get them back, but I mean, it's...
Oh, yeah, those look great. Those are like...
30s? 25s?
Yeah, something like that. Hold on. Yeah. They're like, well, maybe not quite 30. Like 20, I would say. Hold on. She's really trying to gun for the places that she can actually get out from.
So, when you say, do you ever let them bite to get their aggression out? They're not aggressive. They are defensive, and they are food motivated.
Yeah.
The only time you're ever going to get bit by one of these is if they think it's feeding time and they recognize you as a heat signature for potential food, or if they feel threatened and backed into a corner, in which case most of the time they'll bluff strike.
Yeah. Yeah, I think 20 is probably pretty good. That was about a quarter to a third of the screen.
20? Okay, because I thought...
We're not even notice how we used to use the ultrasound has a measuring system that you can get an exact millimeter measurement, but the screen is it 40 millimeters, right?
Yeah.
So you can kind of tell by a rough estimate, like, oh, if it's a quarter of the screen, then you have a 10 millimeter follicle.
What's funny is her weight was 20 and her follicle size was 20.
Yeah.
So
No, she's on a good path. She definitely needs to start getting paired, though. We're pairing her with Charlie.
Yeah.
Yeah, Charlie's gonna make some good babies. Although Charlie has made it very clear that the only thing he likes to eat are large, live mice. He is very persnickety about what he will eat, and it is frustrating. We got a bunch of them back on feeding with live mice, but the rest of them all started eating other stuff, and he's the only one that's been persistent about eating exclusively mice. Okay, so we've got Blossom. We don't need to ultrasound, but we need her weight.
Yeah. So we won't need to ultrasound Blossom because she already gave us eggs, and her eggs have already hatched. We've shown them off several times. Those are the banana mahogany, the 2 banana black pastels, and the super banana mahogany as well, or a regular banana and then a super banana mahogany. So
she is 1136.
1136.
Yes.
She's still a little under.
Yeah, she lost a lot.
She was down to 890 after her eggs.
Yeah, she did drop quite a bit. She was
Wait,
small.
what was that weight again? 11 what?
1190.
Okay.
We weren't expecting eggs from her at all. I think we paired her once and then realized we were going to let her wait because she was a little small. And then she just gave us eggs. We were like, oh, okay. When we ultrasounded her, I think we didn't see anything, or we weren't sure about what we were seeing at the time. Yavanna does need an ultrasound, though.
So anyway, they're not aggressive. They're either defensive or food motivated. We'd be happy to let them bite us whenever they're going to bite us, which either means, you know, we've done something wrong or whatever. But it's not something where you work it out. It's just handling them gets them used to being handled.
Yep, $14.95.
$14.95. $14.90. For some reason, I don't see another freaking weight for her. Oh yeah, I do. So she's lost about 10, but
yeah, every instance
14.
where I've been bit, which have all been relatively in the last like 4 months or so, it has been a situation where the animal was hungry and I was careless about where I was. And that resulted in me getting bit. And I'll tell you, each time it barely hurt.
She had 0 follicles last time.
Yeah, man, even though I've got so much on the wand, I'm not getting any sort of reading. It's hard because also if they don't relax a little to give a little give for you to push into them, if they're tense, that also makes the reading not come out quite right. And even though she's not being flighty, she's extremely tense right now.
If you can't get anything, I'd like to give it a shot real quick.
Yeah, go for it. Here, just come. I would say just do it.
Well, I'm still. There's a lot going on in chat. I'm trying to catch up with. I need a signal, so I can signal you when I have chat stuff for you. Let's see. The Kentucky Atheist is here. Hey, welcome. An atheist in Kentucky probably says, you know, I thought it was an interesting perspective to make a channel. It's been interesting. I've been scared of snakes my whole life, but after watching you guys thinking about a hognose after some research. Hognose are great. They're not the ones I necessarily recommend as somebody's first snake, but if that's the one you're attracted to, they do make an acceptable first snake. They're nothing particularly difficult about them.
Nice try. Need to lube up again, but
yeah. That's okay. I'm starting to wonder if Yavanna might be a boy.
it is entirely possible.
She has a shape that, wow, that looks more. Could you? I tell you what. Wow, thank you. She's wrapped her tail around the thing I'm trying to use.
Yep. She
There
did
we
that
go.
to me.
I'll put this on here. I can't get a reading. Uh-oh.
That looks like gallbladder maybe? Or it's a weird high placement for the gallbladder.
It's low on the body, actually. That's below the halfway mark. But okay, I think that's an oviduct.
Yeah.
But I don't think there's any follicles.
No.
I'm gonna pop her.
Maybe there's some artifact in there, but
Also, we need to find our probes and make a probe day next week. Because I think we need to probe a good chunk of the babies, as neither of us are particularly good at averting a hemipenis. So you hold still.
yeah, that looks like a girl to me.
She's a girl. Okay, so you're definitely a girl, or I just suck at this, which is possible.
Just not ovulating.
It's all right.
Kentucky Atheist says, what do you suggest? I got Hognose idea from Clint's Reptile Room. I think my top... So it depends on what you want out of a snake. If you just want an animal to look at that you don't intend to hold a lot, a hognose is perfectly acceptable. The thing about hognoses is they are terrestrial snakes, meaning they have no knowledge or physiology to allow them to hold onto your hand very well while you're interacting with them. So Matt's going to bring out Speedy. She is our most handleable hognose, and she's sweet, and you can handle them. However, they're not nearly as adept at holding on to you as a corn snake would be, or an African house snake. I think those make phenomenal beginner snakes. Ball pythons are also probably one of the best beginner snakes. The thing I warn people about is when you are just getting used to a snake, the tendency for ball pythons to go off feeding for very long periods of time can make a lot of owners apprehensive that they are doing something wrong, when they are in fact doing nothing wrong. It is just a ball python doing a ball python things.
If you're just getting one snake as a pet and you've decided you like hognoses, I think it's a great idea.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like you're starting a breeding business or a huge reptile collection. I think basically we breed a lot of snakes that are great for beginners. We breed ball pythons, we breed hognose snakes, we breed African house snakes and womas, which I would not put as a beginner, but
Definitely not.
I would say closer to intermediate on the beginner. So intermediate, a low end of intermediate for womas.
Okay, Ovaltine is 1172, and we don't need to ultrasound her because she gave us eggs just a couple weeks ago. Or no, her eggs have already hatched.
Yes. 1172 for Ovaltine.
She had some pretty awesome babies too. Tubby has also given us eggs, so we don't need to ultrasound her, but we'll get a weight on her. Tubby is another one of our very picky eaters. She will only eat mice, but she at least eats frozen thawed, which is nice. Or fresh killed, we sometimes do. Tubby is 1607. Yeah, we've been talking about maybe we'll do like a video or something on our personal beginner snake recommendations soon. Yeah, I think ball pythons and hognoses absolutely can be great beginner snakes. There are just some things that can happen that can be hard for beginners to know what to deal with. I think corn snakes are an excellent beginner snakes. African house snakes are basically the corn snakes of elapids. Mocha is 1255. But I'm also kind of on a evangelism journey with African house snakes. I hadn't heard of them until we got them just given to us for free by this random guy. And I don't see people talk about them very often, but they are so underrated. They are an amazing animal. Okay, Honeycomb. She is not laid anything, which I don't think we've even paired her. She's beautiful though. She did have a bit of a rough shed, but she looks like she's gotten most of it off since.
I bet she's 1580.
Well, let's find out. 1366.
Oh, that's bad.
That's bad?
Yeah. Pull her off and you can check and make sure it's zeroed.
Yep, that's 0.
Okay. She's lost some since she stopped eating.
Yeah.
At the beginning of July, she was over 1,500, and she hasn't eaten since then and has lost like 140.
This is what we're talking about when we say, especially if you are a first-time breeder, why there could be issues with ball pythons that I think can put people from. I should ultrasound her. From picking them, or off that put people from picking hog noses. But I think if you got a hognose for your first snake and you really are drawn to them, I think you could have a great experience and you could love them. I don't think it's... I just like people to have realistic expectations when they're getting an animal.
Yeah. Arden's exactly right. If you want a snake that you're not... that if you don't plan to hold it a lot, hognose are great either way. But they do fine without, interaction.
Okay.
Which makes a better first-time snake, a BCI or a ball python?
We don't have much experience with BCs.
I've never kept BCIs, so it's probably better for me to not say which one's better. Obviously, it's going to be situational. If you want a snake that's not likely to go on a hunger strike, get the BCI.
Yeah.
If you want a snake that's less likely to bite you, ball python.
Yeah, BCIs are great animals, and once you get them out of the enclosure, they're very docile. They'll almost never bite you, but they have very strong feeding responses, so you can get nipped that way pretty easily. Similar to a retic. Retics are smart and sweet snakes, but they've got a really strong feeding response.
Kentucky Atheist wants something I can handle often. As long as you are willing to devote the time, you can handle a hognose snake all the time.
Those are... Oh, wow.
Who are you looking at?
This is Blossom.
No.
Yes.
Honeycomb.
Honeycomb, yes, sorry. I would say those are like 10? Probably 10.
That's what she had last time.
Okay. I think there'd be a little development. They were growing a little when I was getting the right angle, so they might be actually 15, but I'm comfortable putting it at 10. If she would eat a little more, I'm sure they would be developing too, but somebody decided they don't want to eat right now.
Okay. So that does everything above the line.
Yep. Which is going to mean...
Girls below the line are going to be Chandra. Chani.
Oh boy, I get to play Chani.
Best of luck.
Thanks.
Pinch Me.
Alright. Let's go with Pinch Me first. Pinch Me is our leopard pinstripe pied. She's beautiful. Gorgeous. This is also just a really good snake. She's like very interactive, isn't quite as head shy as some of the others are. You've seen how the others have been acting while we've been ultrasounding. They're much jumpier. She is very calm and knows that we are her friend, which I love. We've had her longer than a lot of the other snakes you've seen today, so that's part of why.
She had like 11 millimeter follicles.
Come on. Stop trying to climb.
Her last weight was 1826, but she went on a hunger strike for months. So I'm going to guess she's back down around 16, 1700.
Pinch. Wow. Girl. The hell? Somehow in that whole finagling process, I managed to hit the off button. 1752. I don't know. Oh, that's why I pulled that down.
Alright, let's see what her follicles are. I got some more questions in chat. Okay, I see maybe I should go handle a couple and see how I feel about it. Yeah, that's one of the things. If you were here, you could just come over and handle a bunch here and find out what you like.
Yeah, if you go to a reptile expo though, well, some breeders will say no, and that's fair. Most breeders are just going to make you put hand sanitizer on, but if you ask to handle an animal, a lot of people are going to let you at a breeder's expo.
Arto Rissanen says a pit viper is a great first pet for a toddler. Well, if you absolutely hate toddlers.
Yeah, if you want the kid to die, sure. Okay, I think that's the gallbladder. Or maybe those are follicles?
If you're gonna have to get rid of one of those racks if you're going to make room of an elephant trunk enclosure. We will never make room for an elephant trunk enclosure.
Oh, those are a lot of follicles that are like 20?
Okay.
Maybe more like 15.
Start pairing her.
Yep. Hey, how about you don't crawl back there? Thank you, baby.
Again.
You're looking good though. Good weight. Maybe we'll handle some other stuff after we get done this part of the job. We do have to clean like everyone today. And we can kind of go through. I think that might be better on a different day to do a dedicated stream to handleability and what other snakes are like. But that is something we can do. I really like snakes that are at least semi-arboreal, because when handling, they will do a good portion of the work for you. They'll hold on to you, wrap their tail around you. Like, look, see how she just did that with her tail? Wrapped it right around my hand because she knows how to hold on to things herself. I don't need to help her. Whereas with hognoses, that is not the case.
Ardo Resident says, my cousin had a king python. I'm assuming king python is you're doing ball python, python regis, that went on hunger strike for 10 months. Yeah, that's not uncommon. We've had snakes here that went on hunger strike for more than 10 months.
I thought 10 months was the longest one we had. But maybe.
Faye said, did they have to get trained to use the ultrasound? Well, we watched videos of people using the ultrasound and bought one. Also, most mammals need to exercise for their health. Does that apply to snakes, reptiles? Everything needs to exercise, move around enough to get it food. But snakes are one of the most efficient animals on the planet, which is why they can go 16, 18 months without eating sometimes, is just because they're just incredibly efficient. Now, our snakes get to come out, they get handled, they get sunlight, there's a playpen that we could use.
Chandra's 9'12".
Okay.
Which I think she was like 9 even last time.
8'18".
I'm not even going to ultrasound her. She's way too small to even care about that.
And too young.
Yeah. But she is a beautiful, sweet little girl. Yes, she is.
She is 1 year old or a year and a month or so old. And is 912 grams.
Yeah, she's bigger than the first snake we got, which is a little bit older than her. Older than her by a couple months. She's got him well beat out in size. This is one of the snakes that bit me, but she's so super sweet. It was 100% a feeding response when it happened, and it barely hurt.
Okay, you can do Gaga.
Okay. Whoa! See? That was a feeding response. Wait, where is
It's on the ground over by the thing.
Yes. So usually with her, once she knows that it's not feeding time, she calms down and then she's fine. But because we're out here opening every enclosure, she's used to that, meaning it is feeding day and therefore it's feeding time. Ooh. But now that I've got her on the hook, there's no aggression. She's not angry at me. She doesn't think I'm food. See? She's totally fine. What happened was she was like, oh, they're opening all the enclosures. That's what they do on feeding day. It must be feeding day. And she gets really excited about food.
She's a spider ball python, and a lot of people say that comes with a neurological disorder, but that's not actually what the science shows so far. What we know is that spider is often accompanied by an inner ear deformity, which is why they probably have the wobble. But spiders are notorious for being great eaters, and she is an amazing eater.
Yeah, she is a very, very good eater. But this is also what we're talking about with like BCIs and retics. That's the kind of feeding response you're going to see. They jump out because they're so excited. Also, she's 1251. Do you want to ultrasound her or no? Just for science or?
Yeah, let's do it for science.
Okay.
Because we might breed her.
But yeah, I use the snake hook not because I'm... Like, here's the thing.
if she bit me, it wouldn't be a big deal. I wouldn't be upset with her, and I'd probably handle her the second after it happened, and it would be fine. I like to use the snake hook because ideally I don't want to get bit. And if there's things I can do to teach the snake, we're not feeding you right now, this is handling time, like using the hook, that calms them down and turns their brain onto, I'm not in food mode. Then I like to do that. It helps us communicate with each other.
Faye said, that's interesting. Can snakes be trained? Yes. As a matter of fact, there's a YouTube channel, Lori
Tarini.
She does target training with a variety of snakes. And we have a snake training target here. We're just not doing any detailed training right at the moment. Also,
Let's go bladder right away. There we go. Wow. Oh, no, babe. Oh, man, I had a great image and you ruined it. Wow, those are some good size follicles.
What's good size?
Like 20.
Okay.
Maybe a little under 20.
Okay. Hive size says, I'm stoned, take me to Taco Bell is Arden's feeding response.
That's true. Hey, Bree, good to see ya. Alright, let's get her in here.
Alright, I'm going to put Gaga on the maybe list.
Okay. There you go. Right back in there, babe.
Okay, Miranda, we just need to wait on.
Yep. Miranda's already given us an amazing clutch. You did so good, Mama. She's been not eating as much as I would like since her lay. Not as much as some of the other girls have, but she's been doing okay. She's got back on food a couple times, so that's... As long as they eat a couple times within the first month or two after, that's what I really want to make sure that they're going to be all right. She's gorgeous.
She's a pastel lemonback gravel. I will show off the best of her babies. She was paired with an inchy pastel gravel. And the best of her babies is this right here, which is a super pastel, super gravel, inchy lemonback. And we're pretty sure it's a girl. So that's her baby. You can put that back in the thing. But
she was 1253.
1253.
Almost the exact same weight as I think Gaga was 1251 or something.
All right.
They look about the same size, so that makes sense.
The last girl has probably never been weighed. Nope, she weighed when we first got her.
You're gonna make me weigh Chani, huh?
She's never been bred. She is a Woma python.
I'm getting the glove because Woma pythons, and this is the reason Matt said earlier, they are a beginner intermediate snake. They aren't difficult to keep husbandry-wise, but they are notorious for being cantankerous, as you'll see.
We have two Womas. One of them wouldn't bite you if you were food. And the other one won't stop trying to bite you even when she knows you're not food. And so Chani is the girl. She weighed 975 when we first got her. See, she tried to bite the water bowl in her dish just the second she was disturbed.
Yep, she's already tried to bite the glove. She's also, I think, just musked.
Really?
Yep. She's so tightly wrapped on the hook that I can't actually pull the hook out from the glove right now.
That she gets a lot.
She likes to just hold on very tightly to everything, like she's trying to squeeze the life out of it. She's a beautiful snake, and she's not, terrible or mean. She just is very defensive and has an insanely strong food response.
Yeah, her food response is ridiculous.
Her mouth is creaked a little bit open like she's ready to eat something, but she'll probably take a chomp out of the... She looks like she's in the mood to bite the glove.
Is she in the mood to smell the glove? That's for all the spinal trap tap fans out there.
Okay, I don't get that reference. Now the question is, can we get her onto the weighing tray without the glove? Because she's holding on real tight to the glove.
Yeah, probably not, and I don't know how. We just may not be able to ultrasound her either.
I think that is probably not a possibility.
Let me get a glove here.
Okay.
Cool.
She is 1,000 grams even.
1,000 grams. All right, let me try without the hook. Come here.
You can't even hook train her like a normal snake where... Oh,
Ooh.
careful. There we go. So normally when you are using a hook for a snake, you hold the length of their body and their head, like the first third, off this end, and then you hold their tail like this. You can't do that with her because she wraps so tightly around the first thing that touches her.
And she wraps up on herself, and she's bitten herself, and she has bitten the hook,
Yeah.
and she has bitten her water bowl. We really need to spend more time working with her, because you can see, like, she's sitting here right now, and I can touch her, and me touching her doesn't make her freak out more. As a matter of fact, she's starting to loosen up just a little bit. But she has coiled up around nothing.
I really do think it's just... So we try to interact with all of our snakes as much as possible outside of feeding time so that they know not every time the cage opens is it's feeding time. I think her experience before us was exactly that. She only ever got interacted with for feeding, and so her only association with humans is feeding. We've had multiple times, we may have to do it right here, to leave the glove in with her. Because that's the only way she would let go of it, was if she was given enough time to just sit with the glove. Yes, bit herself. Yep.
There we go. I got her off the glove.
You could wear her with the glove and then weigh the glove and subtract it. Yeah, we've done things like that. Luckily, she let go today, so we didn't have to do that.
She's doing much better. She bit me
Alright.
the day we brought her home and just hung on my finger for like 10 minutes.
So that is all our girls weighed and ultrasounded. So do we want to weigh all the boys or get
No.
to cleaning? Nope? Okay.
I think the next thing to do is to pull up the breeding list.
Okay.
Well, let's do this. We know that. Go ahead and grab Bozo and show him off. Bozo is our banana blade clown male. He's going to be the breeding partner for all of our clown girls. So you've already seen Bobert and Clarabelle. They're the only two clown girls we have. But he is great. Banana,
Very tense right now.
blade. Yeah, Fred just needs to be handled a bit. Let
Yeah.
him chillax a bit.
He's a new addition to our collection, so we haven't gotten to interact with him or his roommate here, Einstein, too much. And I say roommate as in next door neighbor, not in the same enclosure. Yeah, so it's easier to see sort of all the traits that he has when snakes like him are young. Blade typically just does a reduction in the alien heads. It's usually like the keyholes are missing, right? It's kind of a big aspect of that. Obviously, Banana is the color and the freckling, and the clown. You can tell that at one time he probably had a very prominent dorsal stripe and now it's very faded. But his babies are going to look very, very pretty when they come out. So he is a very handsome man and a good snake. He doesn't know us well yet, so he's apprehensive when we handle him and interact with him.
Okay, can you hand me my notepad?
Yep.
So I show 4 snakes to pair with Bozo. And that is, for next year, Ariana, Pebbles, Clarabelle, and Bobert. So I'm thinking what we can do, since Bobert's over in the rack on the right, we can set up 2 tubs. One just to the left of Clarabelle. We'll put the cocoa in there. We'll move Bozo into that one.
Okay.
And then one to the right of, one to the left of Bobert. Then one to the right of Bobert, we'll put Clarabelle.
Sure.
And that way we'll have just our little clown group right there, because Ariana and Pebbles are in the big rack.
Okay. Sounds good to me.
So I'm going to put him back in his tub, or actually just let me hold him.
Okay.
While you prep a tub for him. We can do that. He'll get used to maybe sitting on my shoulders or something.
All right.
Here, bud. All right.
So, to prep these tubs, basically, we'll get the camera set up here. I have this big old black plastic tote full of freshly started cocoa block. Basically, it is a block of compressed cocoa chip. You pour warm water on it, and it tends to break apart pretty easily into these chunks. You can kind of see what that looks like. And that is just a good substrate for ball pythons. It holds humidity very well.
Without fungus.
Right, with a low susceptibility is the word I was looking for, to fungus. Usually I'll do like 3 big handfuls. They tend to push most of it out of the way anyway, and move into the back corners to lay directly on the plastic. But I try to get it totally full anyway. That way, if they want to move it, they can, and if they like it, like some of the snakes do, they can leave it where it is. And then we've got this big stack of refillable and reusable water dishes that are fit to go perfectly in there. Put that next to Bobert.
Can move his tag.
And then, yes. And then we kind of created this tag system with the snake's name and all their morphs and their sex, and then the placement of the tag on either the left or the right side of the bin indicates to us at a glance what their feeding was the previous week. So right side is they haven't eaten at all, left side is they were fed. If it's turned backwards, that means they were offered food and refused. The middle is they're in the process of eating currently, and we need to check back.
Because sometimes we have to drop. Some of them will only eat live. Some of them will only take a drop as opposed to feeding directly off the tongs. And so if we ever have to leave a rat in with a snake, we always move the tag to the middle. And then we come up every 30 minutes to an hour and check on all the ones that are middle tags, and then either move them to refused or to eaten afterwards.
And now that he is in a new thing, there is water in his old one, but it has been really heavily tanned by the cocoa that he managed to get in there. So I'm just gonna, we have a whole 3 big pitchers of water that I'll probably have to refill a couple times today.
You check Bobert's water?
Yep. We're gonna make sure everyone gets fresh water.
And
she's good on water.
And her tub might need to be spot cleaned, I'm not sure.
Yeah, it definitely needs some spot cleaning.
I'll hand you the trash bag. There's some more comments coming in.
Okay.
Faye says, Matt Arden, you spend some time planning your breeding. And Matt, you just mentioned that one type of snake gets an inner ear problem. Do you have to spend time avoiding problem combinations? Yeah, so originally we weren't going to breed any spiders. We have one spider here. We may breed her, but you can't breed spider to spider because any baby that is homozygous for spider dies. I mean, they just don't survive to hatching and don't live. So basically the spider superform or homozygous form for spider is lethal. There are a couple of other combinations that are also lethal or have other problems. There are some morphs that have problems like kinking of the spine or duckbill. So yeah, you have to watch for some potential deformities, but we've been very careful about what we're breeding and how, and So far, we've produced nothing but sheer awesomeness.
All right, so we're gonna move Clarabelle now over to the clown row, huh?
Yeah.
All right. So same thing. This is part of the reason we stream this is because it's so monotonous and boring for us. We figure it's probably interesting for some of y'all to see at least once or twice, and before you get sick of it. And it gives us a chance to talk about what we're doing and what the process is like, and you know how the animals respond to everything. And we like answering your questions too. It's fun. Of course, disclaimer that we know a lot more than probably other people who are at a year mark because we are both very obsessive learners. We are not experts, and there's a lot of stuff we don't know. There's stuff we're gonna get wrong. Nothing we say is gospel. We don't claim that we're always gonna be correct on everything. We just do our best.
So the clear tubs that you can see behind Arden, those have hognose snakes and African house snakes. We're gonna get some more clear tubs. The ball pythons do better in the dark. As a matter of fact, some of them actually want additional hides in the tubs that they're living in. But the colubrids do better with day-night cycle and clear tubs. So we're probably going to get I think I'm going to get 8 more clear tubs, and then we'll have spares for everything.
Yeah, and the ball pythons aren't. I get what you're saying about the day-night cycle. Just to clarify for the audience, they're the things that keep them from getting out on top have holes in them, and we have a light in here on a timer every day. So they do have light peeking through to know when it's day and night. They just, as Matt said, don't need to reiterate, they very much like their privacy. So
All right.
we have our clowns now, all set up in a nice row with fresh new cocoa block.
Those 3 have new cocoa block or cleaned up one because Bogert's tub is pretty new.
Now leave the ones that need to get cleaned open so we can remember to bring them down.
And they've got all 3 of those have water now. The other ones that we're going to pair with Bozo are in the big enclosure there. What's this nest? If some of them don't want to eat, they still drink. Can feed by adding things in the water. Not really.
Yeah, not enough. I've seen not a lot of data on it. I've heard a lot of breeders talk about using dechlorinator, and they'll have certain ones that specifically add calcium to the water as well. Some people swear by that. I haven't seen really any like concrete data on the effect of tap water on a snake's or reptile's body system, though. I think there may be such data out there. I just haven't seen it. Just see a really compelling reason to compulsively dechlorinate every single water dish.
We have a tub missing. Oh, we're using it for the ultrasound.
Because they also pretty chronically put cocoa block in their water tubs, which tannins the water, but that's not an issue, so.
Okay, I think the row above that will be Mayfield and the Dreamsicle Girls.
Okay.
So if you just want to make all 4 of those tubs, it'll be Mayfield, Taylor, Ellie, Demi, and then Annie can go in the tub by Clarabelle.
Okay, on that far end.
Yeah. And at least they'll all be in the same location. The only other ones for Mayfield. Mayfield has 5 girlfriends.
Damn.
Hey, he's got to be a stud.
Polyamorous king.
Demi, Ellie, Taylor, Annie,
Cats are getting in the way.
and Brittany. And so Brittany's in the big one. So yeah, that's like 5 tubs of prep. And that'll clear out a good chunk of the top row.
That is the man stud.
Last time was 4? Cindy. Blossom, polish out. Okay. Yes. I know nobody asked it. Nobody's asked anything for the last minute or two, but yes, I am just sitting back here letting Arden work. I'm glad you guys all noticed that. Sounds like you put a lot of effort into making sure to avoid genetic disorders. That's good to hear. I know modern pet dogs have numerous health issues caused by other breeding combinations. Yeah, I mean, it's, you know, nobody knows what's going to happen. Nobody knew the first time they got a spider with ball python that if they paired it with another spider that all the babies were going to die. This is just, I mean, that's just the way nature works sometimes.
Yeah. Also, snake breeding captivity has gone on for way less longer than it has for dogs, so we don't have nearly as many different, you know, breeds and morphs of ball pythons to think about all those things. But
did you have to buy a special light, UV light, for their daylighting? No. And without getting into all the details,
okay, we're done with wings, so I'm gonna move.
Yeah, we're done with the weighing, so we can move that way, move the table. So, ball python, so like something like a bearded dragon requires UVB. Otherwise, they'll get metabolic bone disease, things like that. Ball pythons don't have that same requirement, but like all reptiles, they can benefit from UVB. And while they don't need it all day, every day, we give ours the option by, they don't spend their entire life in these tubs. We have playpen and timeouts and time out in the sun and things like that.
Yeah, and we are working on a project that we probably won't talk about for a while until it's really built up and rolling. That we're gonna do some observations on certain things and like fertility, egg production and stuff. We'll be able to observe a lot of that in there, and it will involve UV. I'm really excited to hopefully get there eventually, but we are still very new breeders, and we are really trying to build up our production cycle before we get to a place where we can do that kind of thing. So we're getting there. We're excited to be able to show that to you guys, but we're nowhere near it yet.
Is that a row plus the fifth one?
That is a row. Oh wait, no, I think I went the row down because the tags made me. Yep. The tags confused me, so I went the one down.
The row under Bozo will need prepped as well.
Okay. After this one, I can move the snakes in to their new tubs.
Yeah, I'll come around with the chart and help you hand stuff.
We'll also need to give everyone water. I didn't put water in while I was prepping.
Okay, we're done with the ultrasound. Although, oh, did you turn it off?
I did.
Okay, I just saw the lights and I was like, oh, you closed the lid but didn't turn it off. And then I heard the fan kick on and I was like, nope, I'm a dummy.
Getting a workout. I am sweating now.
Yeah, I've got a debate tonight, which I tried to postpone a little bit. What's up?
I didn't put a water cup in this tub for some reason.
Okay. So I'm going to get Mayfield. All right. Hey, buddy.
All right. So that project is ready for the new move-ins.
All right. So Mayfield is our dreamsicle breeder male. He is piebald, lavender albino, proven breeder, a little small.
These are the snakes we're gonna make.
Yeah. They're going to come out looking much, much oranger. As a matter of fact, even though this isn't a lavender albino, they'll come out closer in color to what Diggle is initially.
Yes.
All right. So Mayfield. You can try and stick that right above him if you want. And Mayfield's partners are Demi, Ellie, Taylor.
Whole top row.
So we'll take the top row. That's Taylor.
Yeah, better that I grabbed her from
Ooh,
behind.
she's hissing hard.
Yeah, she's... I mean, a lot like hognoses, ball pythons like to put on a big display to get you to leave them alone. I mean, it's a common... You know, it's not just fight or flight, it's fight or flight or freeze or fawn.
That's Ellie. Ellie is a lavender albino that is het for piebald. So she's another of the dreamsicle breeders.
There you
And-
go, baby girl.
Here's her tag. Yeah, so she's pastel lavender albino
Yep.
and het piebald. Whew. We're getting there. Then little Miss Demi. Wow.
Oh, she's on the back end. Hello, girl.
Heavy girl on the backside.
Yeah, you are thick.
Okay. Demi is the orange dream pied het lav. Mayfield's other partner is Brittany, who's in the sea serpent's rack, but Annie, who's right here.
Ooh, I thought she was gonna turn around and whip at me.
She's occasionally a little pissy too.
Yep.
She is normal, but het for lavender and pied, so there's her tag. All right. The next group, let me get my
The bottom one you said?
marker. I'd prep the rest of that row.
Okay.
Um,
Will do.
okay, Mayfield's moved. Mayfield's moved. Oh wow.
If y'all can see how much work all this is, imagine doing this as one person and not having a partner involved to help you. That would be a nightmare.
Okay, the next one we're going to do is going to be Einstein.
Okay.
And Einstein has Cindy, Blossom, Polly, and Shadow. So only Cindy and Blossom. So it'll be Einstein, Cindy, Blossom.
Okay.
Einstein's one of my favorite breeding projects, even though I was warned not to get into this breeding project because some people have described it as heartbreaking. But there is a super cinnamon champagne produces something that looks piebald but is gray, and the snake is called a gray matter. You'll get a good chance to see because Einstein is a champagne cinnamon, so not a super cinnamon champagne, just simple champagne and cinnamon. And the main snake we're going to pair him to is Cindy, who's a super cinnamon Mojave HGW in Gene Woma. And so we can get gray matters out of that, but we can also get Mojave gray matters and HGW gray matters. So we'll see how that works out. Einstein will also next year be paired with Polly and Shadow, who are currently still getting paired with Bam Bam.
Alright. This row is ready.
Bam Bam's our pewter. All right, so let me move this. And here's Einstein's tag. Ooh, it's missing a thumb piece.
Oh yeah. That's weird. It's gonna make it hard to...
Very. Where the hell that went? Hey, buddy. What are you doing?
I don't really know how to clip it without that, but
So he's a champagne cinnamon. And so you can see the kind of goldish brown coloration of the champagne and then the lightning from the cinnamon. And together, you see this a lot in the 8-ball complex, things like cinnamon. You'll get a banded ring. Some people, when you see this on something that's possibly het for piebald, they just basically call that a pied indicator. She's not het for piebald. The piebaldism-like thing that happens with the 8-ball complex isn't part of the pied gene at all. But he's got a beautiful ringer, and he is champagne and cinnamon, and he's been a great eater. And he doesn't like bumping into my belly or my arm, but there we go. There's a new enclosure for you. Good job, buddy. And your first girlfriend.
let's see how chat's doing. Snakes symbolize a lot of different things in ancient Egypt, from royalty to divinity, protection, fertility, healing, and immortality. Goddess of lore, Egypt is some kind of snake mix.
Okay, put Cindy there.
So there's a lot of talk about symbolism in snakes, which I feel like I would be able to contribute if I was a part of the beginning of that discussion, but because I'm not, I have no clue what y'all are talking about.
Okay, this one's for Annie Lennox, wherever we put her.
Yeah.
This is Cindy's tag, which I've already marked her on the thing. And since you did so good,
Yep.
Cindy is a super cinnamon, and we have not proved out her genes, but she's also Mojave and hidden gene Woma, supposedly. We'll see. We'll see what we get egg-wise out of her.
Okay.
And it's Blossom, I think is the other one. Because next year, when Blossom starts building follicles, that's who we're pairing her with. Yes, Einstein, and then Pauline Shadow. So there's Blossom's tag. Here's Blossom's sticker.
Yeah, I have a hard time contributing to discussions about like symbolism and stuff. I've never been diagnosed as neurodivergent, but I'll tell you, I have a really hard time understanding that, like, snakes meaning fertility. That's always been perplexing to me.
Let's
She needs a bath. I think we should do that another time, maybe tomorrow.
I want to get some water real quick and just kind of rub. Yeah.
This new cocoa block will help too because it's freshly started, so it'll be very high in humidity.
You don't want to ever just pull the shed off, but if your hands are wet and you rub gently with the scales, you can help get rough shed off.
Yeah.
But yeah, hopefully with some new bark in there, should be fine.
Oh.
So now we got one more tub there.
Yep.
And that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's fine. The top row's done. We can move Varda down with Yavanna. So this will be a tub. Well, look at that poop.
Yep.
This is a tub that's going to need to be cleaned.
So that's cleaning day.
So we're going to move Varda. Hey, girl.
If you are
Right to here.
really on top of spot cleaning, you might not have to do this level of resorting and recleaning that often, but snakes poop a lot. And so, you know, just like any animal, it just because they don't require a lot of intimate attention and like social and bonding time doesn't mean that they don't need interaction.
I'm just going to hand you these to stack up on that down there while I move. Oh, I just meant you could stack it with the one I already put there.
Oh, I see.
Right there. Once I get all these moved around, we can put them back in the rack in an open position and then stack them up and take them down for cleaning later. All right, there's Aurora Z. Now I can just move this to here for now.
Put Alpine in there.
We can put Alpine. Great.
Yeah, it's nice to not have to use the ladder as much. Let me check on chat. What's going on, chat? Are we done with the symbolism talk? Talk about the positive and negative use of snakes in different cultures. That is interesting. I definitely... I forget. I think it's a culture in some part of Africa where bell pythons are native. And I think it's part of the voodoo religion a little bit, or whatever the original word for that is. Where bell pythons are, like, they are the reverent god of that religion. Which is really cool. They have temples to it and everything.
Okay, I want you to double check this. You don't have to get up.
Okay.
Aurora Z is currently paired, scheduled for pairing next year, with Lila, who's in this row.
Yep.
Alpine, who's in this row.
Mm-hmm.
And Honeycomb.
Who's... Yeah, 3 down from Lila.
I know where she's at.
Oh, okay.
Champagne Inchy. She's Honeycomb's possibly het pied. I don't think we should put her with Aurora.
Yeah, it'd be a little bit of a waste.
I think we should put her with somebody who's possibly het pied. And that would be wow. Keep Huey or Ray. Ray can have Honeycomb. Does Ray even have anybody to pair with next year?
Yeah, this is one of the things that I think is off-putting to some people is if a breeder is no longer useful to our plan, they will likely be rehomed. Luckily, this isn't... It's not like it doesn't stress the animal out, but it's nowhere near doing to like what it would be to a dog or a cat to rehome them regularly. And they're not getting rehomed all the time, obviously. They're here for like quite a long time, and then they go to somewhere else.
I think we just need another dreamsicle male, but...
Probably.
Okay, so we'll put Ray with Honeycomb. Or it could be Tubby, or it could be Huey. But Huey's got nobody to pair with, and I think of the two, Ray would be better.
I think you should have a nursing home. Yeah, they go there when they're done their breeding work. Makes sense for the older snakes, but the thing is, Ray isn't that old. He just doesn't quite fit in with our breeding plans anymore.
Also, Aurora, this will probably be Aurora Z's last year, because
we like Diggle.
Diggle.
Yeah.
So here, I'll show you the difference real quick, since we're here working. Hey, buddy, you look great. So here's Aurora Z. He is a regular albino, also yellow belly, right?
Yep.
Yes, albino yellow belly. And I don't know if you can see it, but it adds some coloration and distinction and cleanliness.
Yeah.
Cleanness to him. However, we have another male that we bought. Can you let go of me, buddy? It's okay. We have another male that we bought to be a breeder, but he'll need another year probably before he's ready. And I showed you him earlier. This is Diggle. He is an albino black pastel leopard.
Yeah, he's a beautiful animal. He's definitely going to make Well...
That is insane.
There are a lot of albino. Albino's been around for a very long time, and some people think it's too done. I do enjoy some albino animals, particularly ones that are more like Diggle there, who've got the darkening genes, which make a high contrast on their albinism.
So he'll probably move into the place that Aurora Z takes right now when he is big enough, which really should be next year. I think Aurora Z will finish out this year, and then he'll probably be replaced.
Margarine.
Snake Zimmer frames. That's funny.
Margarine I had paired with Sunny or spinach.
Whew, man, I'm exhausted.
I'm wondering if maybe putting margarine with Aurora Z.
Yeah, have some.
You get pastel albinos, pastel yellow belly albinos. I think that washes it out too much. So
We don't really have a lot of good mates for margarine in general.
Yeah. All right. So in that case, you have Varda and Yavanna, who are currently being paired with Charlie. Next year, I have them getting paired with Sunny Boy or Spinach, preferably Sunny Boy if he's up to breeding. That way we can get some Het Sunset girls out of there.
Yeah. Faye says, how long do the snakes live and how long can they be breeders? That's a great question.
They can breed most all of their life, and ball pythons live in captivity as much as 40 years, but 20 is a good bet on,
Yeah.
I think, the average.
Yeah, 20 is much more of a most people's captive experience average. But yet, they can breed for most of their life, actually. They're one of the few species that, like mammals, are not like that at all. Our breeding capacity runs out usually pretty quickly, comparative to the rest of our life. But not snakes. Or at least not these snakes. Can't speak for all snakes, but I think some colubrids are similar. I think a lot of different hognose varieties, like tricolor and regular hognoses, will breed from year like 3 to like 6 or 7, and then the last 3 or 4 years they lose. They could still breed. They just wouldn't produce as many eggs per clutch.
Oh, margarine down one.
Okay.
Just so there's nothing in the top 2 rows on either of these racks right now.
Love it. They'll get filled eventually because we can't help ourselves, but.
Well, we're gonna have enough babies that there'll be groups of babies in some of these.
Yeah.
Wow, can't get that sticker off. There we go.
Yep. Not so the hognoses on the bottom right of your screen, they live a lot shorter. It's gonna be more like 7 to 10 years, maybe. I think some of them live a little bit longer, but yeah. I might need to fact check that one. I'm pretty sure tricolor hognoses are 7 to 10 years, but I don't actually know if I know for sure how long Western hognoses live. And I'm actually not confident on an answer for the African house snakes either. But yeah, the ball pythons do live about 20 to 25 years on average in captivity. Captive animals do not have a shorter life. That is actually the opposite of what's true. Captive animals, for my understanding, most species live significantly longer, especially if they're captive bred. I think if you pull animals out of the wild and keep them in captivity, they do have a shorter life.
Yep.
But animals that are bred and born in captivity live significantly longer than most other animals in their species. It just makes sense. I mean, there's no threat of any predators, the risk of disease.
I don't know who you are or what. Oh my gosh, is it a prescription showing up?
It's only 5 o'clock. They normally don't start coming in until 6.
And I haven't got a text message yet.
There are plenty of. I don't know them off the top of my head, but I've seen plenty of studies whose methodology includes tracking animals. I think you can do it with like chips and things like that over their lifespan. But yeah, in captivity, there's no risk of predators. There's the risk of disease is significantly reduced. Even if they contract diseases, the keepers are able to treat it in a way that an animal in captivity would never get. Yeah, the captive animal lifespan is generally longer, is my understanding. I know that's true for ball pythons and for a lot of reptiles. I can't speak for every animal in captivity, obviously, but yeah, definitely it's not true that they have a shorter life for the animals that we interact with.
Okay, I think that's all the moving we need to do for today.
Okay.
Um,
We'll have to do a lot of cleaning in the days to come, but I will tell you guys, if any of you are out there watching are really interested in becoming breeders, I will tell you the biggest hassle of being a breeder is how much shit you have to clean all the time. You are always cleaning bins, you are always doing dishes. It is a never-ending supply of cleaning things. Maybe his stats are changed because of mistreatment. There's a lack of exercise. Okay, so there are health conditions that can be associated with captivity, but that does not necessarily entail that their lifespan is shorter. For example, bearded dragons overwhelmingly face obesity issues in captivity because they are overfed. But that their lifespan is still on average longer than their wild counterparts. So I don't know what stats you're reading, but I have seen data on this. I don't have any studies offhand that I want to cite, which is why you don't need to cite data for this. You can just reason your way there. Animals without certain risks are going to live longer because they aren't facing those risks.
Yeah, it would only be the case if we were introducing new significant risks.
Right.
Can you hand me my iced tea that's in the blue glass up on the top of the
Yep.
thing? That's a fresh one. All right. The next thing that needs to happen.
Squeeze my butt in here. I feel like I'm sitting in a swing made for kids.
What the hell happened to my to-do list?
I didn't touch that computer. I didn't even touch that computer.
Yep, there we go. I forgot to tag it, or pin it so it's at the top of the fucking list. Jesus Christ, why can't I think of words? I'm only a professional speaker. All right, so water. We gotta check everybody's water.
Yep. All the
Including
new
the
ones
baby
got
one.
water, but go through everyone else. And all the colubrids too. Make sure everyone gets some fresh water.
Yep, we'll have to check the babies too. All right.
Let's set this down for a second. Check this out. Alright. Oh my god, I don't need the ladder for any of these animals? That's so crazy. Hi, Aurora Z. You actually got pretty good water supply still. Doesn't like
You
too
said, are you
brown.
at the point that you're selling now, or is that a point in your breeding program you want to get to first? Technically, we could start selling a couple snakes today. We're not going to. We're waiting. We have, let's see, 3, 6, 9, 12. Oh, no, there's more than one baby in some of those. There's about 40 or so babies in the baby rack, and we won't sell any. I think they've all shed out. There may be one that still hasn't finished shedding. But we let them do their first shed and maybe a second shed, but we make sure they all get 3 good feedings, and some of these haven't eaten yet. And we may have to assist feed some of them
Yeah, and on top of that, in order to be ready to sell, we have work to do on the business end of things.
Yeah.
That's going to take some time. So we have a target deadline for October to start selling all of the babies that we have. Of course, stuff could pop up that could make it that not quite possible, but that's what we're going to aim for.
Oh.
Good. This one's a little dirty.
Yeah, Gigi, we're not keeping orcas, and nobody should.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, if you're thinking about orcas in captivity, there's a reason that those animals suffer in captivity, and it is very, very different from most other... Okay, the animals that we keep in captivity are animals that can be pets, because they are compatible with human life. Those animals have a longer lifespan in captivity. Animals like orcas need to swim for miles and miles to be healthy. They can't attain that in captivity.
Yeah, you can't say, oh, this animal doesn't do well in captivity, therefore other animals don't do well in captivity. I'm not keeping orcas. When I am, then quote me statistics on orcas. Hermit crabs also don't live very long in captivity. There's a number of animals that don't.
I think hermit crabs just don't live long in general, though.
I don't know. I have zero interest in keeping hermit crabs. But I had zero interest in nerite snails, and I've got a couple of those now to keep, the aquarium clean.
I'll tell you, the snails, I thought they were pretty cool. The notion of them, watching them walk around and eat the scum off of the walls of an enclosure is so awesome. Their tiny little weird mouth and their weird belly on the side. It is... Yeah, what's up?
We didn't move the tags back up for the bottom half of the rack.
Nope, that's correct. We stopped because I think we had groceries coming then.
Well, you can move Chandra's right now because you're there.
Yeah, I'm just going to go through and do the water first. My brain is like one thing at a time. I can't walk and chew gum at the same time, babe. Come on.
I was just saying, put water in, move the tag. Put water in, move the tag.
Well, alright, if you're gonna nag me.
I'm trying to go for efficiency because I got a debate tonight and I don't want this shit to take 3 more hours.
Well, it's gonna take at least 2.5.
Not if I start cracking the whip.
I need to go refill water too. I'm pretty much out.
Richard Rockus says hermit crabs can live up to 30 years in the wild. Pet hermit crabs average about 10. Yeah.
Okay, sure. There are probably some animals that live shorter lives in captivity.
Ugh.
Wow, Sonny boy. You are, there's no food coming today. You've also managed to... I'm just gonna get you a totally... Watch him, make sure he doesn't get out.
I'm watching him.
You managed to get a whole bunch of chunks of dead skin just lying in that cup. And if he bit me, it wouldn't even hurt that bad because he's tiny as hell, but...
He needs to be handled a bit.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna go refill these pitchers of water.
Right.
Ready for more.
Is the spider gene just involved? But all the genes that we described, let me move around. I'm not going to be able to see chat, but maybe I can do this. There we go. Now you can see the mess I have on this desk. We have our old style tags that we just took off and redid a little bit. Is the spider gene just in ball pythons? Every gene that we talked about for ball pythons is specific to ball pythons. In other snakes, for example, there are other genes. And so the gene for, let's say, albinism, because albinism has a known utility outside of just ball python morphs. There are albinos throughout nature. And so some of the terminology, albinism, leucism, anerythristic, erythristic, axanthic, hypomelanistic, hypermelanistic, those things that are descriptive, those things exist in other snakes, but they're different genes. When I list off, let me look at the snakes over there. Champagne, that is the name for a specific gene in ball pythons that produce some sort of phenotypical display. There are very few snakes or creatures being bred that have as much diversity of genes as ball pythons do. And so the spider gene is specific to ball pythons, and the gene that we call cinnamon in ball pythons, there could be a gene in hognose snakes that does something similar color-wise, and somebody could name it that, but essentially the individual who discovers and proves out the gene winds up being the one that names it. And so that's why, for example, Brian Barczyk, who's been doing this much longer than I have, they discovered a gene that they ended up calling the Lori gene, naming it after his wife. But it turns out that the Lori gene is also the same as one that was called het red axanthic. And so both names are problematic because it's not heterozygous for red axanthic. It should have never been called het red axanthic. That's a dumbass name for a morph because it's confusing. But so HRA became the substitute for that. Similarly, in hognose snakes, there's a gene called anaconda, and because it takes the spots in the hognose and makes them look more like the spots in an anaconda. But you don't want to name a gene after an entirely different species of snake, especially when something like hybridism is a possibility. You can breed a ball python to, let's say, an Angola python, and you get a hybrid that's called an angry ball. And so naming the hognose gene anaconda was dumb, and now most everybody just refers to it as conda, and I hope that that's just what sticks. Let me turn this camera around. Arden's adding water to the colubrids right now.
Most of them are pretty good on water. I mean, they've got pretty tiny bodies. They can't consume a lot of water, so it's not really a worry, but something doesn't smell right in here. What did you do, Legolas? Huh?
Let's see. Not about snakes, but who are you debating tonight? I genuinely have no idea what this person's name is at all. It's some Muslim that wanted to debate Islam versus secular humanism.
Okay, it's just poop in here, but it smells like death, but it's very clearly poop.
Well, you know, poop comes from dead stuff.
Alright. Sabrina. I'll show her off. Is the guy who was asking about handleability still in chat?
I don't know. Kentucky atheist, I think, yeah.
Alright.
If they like to be left alone, are well fed, and live longer, do they have a better life in captivity? No. They might have a better life. They might have a worse life. There's no way to say they're better off as captives.
Okay, I think this also has to do with how well you're keeping them, right? Like, if we could give orcas a captive pool that was 50 miles long and massively deep, and they had 4 other orcas to swim with, they would probably have much more success than they do at SeaWorld. And likewise, if you kept a ball python in a 10-gallon tub for its entire life, fed it once a week, and never interacted with it, it would probably not live to its fullest capacity. Captive animals live longer when they are kept well and kept healthy and taken care of. They're not kept... When we're saying captive animals live longer, we're not saying just by the nature of being near a human they live longer. That's ridiculous. We're pointing out that human intervention can help aid the animal in surviving things that it might not survive in the wild. it could also probably produce some unique complications that it wouldn't find in the wild, but we probably could also find better solutions to that in captivity than the snake could find on its own as well.
Kentucky, this is still here, so whatever you were going to show off handling-wise, you can do.
Yeah, so this girl is my favorite snake in our whole collection, mostly because we're pretty tight. We've bonded. You can't really bond with a snake. She probably doesn't feel bonded with me, but I feel bonded with her. We're talking about handleability. Check out the way I don't have to do anything. She holds on all by herself. This is a subadult African house snake. This one's a black African house snake, but she's really sweet. Ooh, she's a little spicy today. I think they're beautiful. Their bellies are completely iridescent. I don't know if you can see it on camera at all, but you can see it in real life. She's beautiful. They're pretty much like corn snakes. They're more closely related to cobras and things like that. They're from Africa. They're elapids, not technically colubrids, but elapids are also colubroids, so they are part of the larger clade together. They are a phenomenal beginner species in my opinion, although I'll tell you, they're very jerky, and sometimes that can freak people out, think they're dangerous when they're not. That's just how they move. They move more like a cobra than they do other colubrids in a lot of ways. But they're very gentle, very kind, very sweet little babies. And I'll show you a fully grown female. The males stay about this size, actually. The females get...
You've got Kruger down there.
Yeah.
Assuming he hasn't escaped again.
Yes.
Kruger is our brown African house snake who's an escape artist and has gone on 2 adventures, both of which lasted more than a week before we found him.
Hello. So, this is also a subadult. He's not quite as full size, but he's not going to get much bigger than this at all. I can show you a male that is an adult who is full size. He's about the size of Sabrina, the one I just showed you. But again, look at the knot he ties on my hand. I don't have to do any work holding him. This is what I consider a much better handling experience. There's a lot less stress for the snake if you don't have to very intentionally hold it together. Also, a big thing is with snakes, especially like arboreal snakes, if you grab them like this, they'll think you're a predator. I'm not actually holding onto it, but if you grip it, that's why I love arboreal snakes. You don't have to grab them. I just pick it up with my hand and it holds itself. So there's no risk of me scaring it, panicking it. It is calm. And we have a good handling experience. But I can show you some of the adults too.
When you had Sabrina out, Morphic said pretty, would you say that's your most chill snake?
I think she's the most chill snake.
I think Paul is the most chill snake.
Oh, okay. Yeah, maybe that's true. But Paul is like a 0.001% Woma snake. It's almost like there's something wrong with him. He's so chill. Not to the point where it concerns me. He doesn't seem to have health issues, but it's weird. Most snakes are not like that.
The snake lost in Iraq was pretty epic. That is like a superhero snake glove. I don't know what you're talking about, Gigi. If you see someone with a snake between fingers, run away. I don't know what that means either. Why would you run away from someone with a snake between their fingers? I'm not trying to be an asshole, but I genuinely don't understand the comments. Faye also asked, are ventures around the house for the snake that got out? Yes, lost in the house for a week or more each time.
So this is a adult male African house snake. He is, you could see about the size of the first one I showed you, the girl. Pretty small. They don't get any bigger than this. About 2 feet is average length. You can keep them in a pretty small enclosure pretty happily, which is, I think, a big draw for a lot of people. I like the females because they're slightly bigger but still small overall. But phenomenal experience again. Look at the knots he's tying. Alright, one more snake to show you, and then we'll probably wrap it up because I know Matt wants to finish doing his...
Now I have Gigi saying she had the snake between each finger. Yes, I'm in the room with her. I saw what she was doing. But you said if you see someone with a snake between fingers, run away. And then Gigi said, be cool, Matt. How about you just explain the comment so I understand why you're suggesting people run away from people with, you know, I'm as cool as I'm ever going to get, but if I don't understand your comment, I'm going to ask you to explain your comment.
This is the size of an adult female African house snake. So African house snakes also go in reverse in a way that I don't see happening as often. But yeah, so that's pretty cool.
So now you're saying it was a joke. How about instead of telling me to be cool, you just say, oh, it was a joke, because I don't get the joke. I don't understand what was remotely funny about saying, if you see someone with a snake between their fingers, run away. It looked like some weapon snake. Okay, am I supposed to be a fucking mind reader, Gigi? I can't tell that. How do I know what it looks like to you? That's
all right.
bizarre.
Let's wrap it up. Gigi's clearly you're being one of those comments.
Gigi's now saying that they explained it. So the comments from Gigi are, if you see someone with a snake between their fingers, run away. And then I asked, I don't understand that. And you said she had the snake between each finger. Be cool, Matt. It was a joke. It looked like some weapon snake. A glove made of snake. I explained it. That's not explaining the joke. But cool.
Anyway, I'm gonna cut this conversation off. Gigi, it's been a real fun experience. These back and forth comments have been something. But yeah, thank you guys for hanging out with us. That was our weighing and ultrasounding and cleaning enclosures, and there's still probably a lot more for us to do. But
there's a lot more cleaning to do, but we're gonna get some dinner and do a debate.
Yes.
And we'll do some more stuff this weekend.
All right. Thank you guys so much.
Thanks,
we will
everybody.
See you next time.